With its tower and roof line, it really does tower over the surrounding community. But it's not until you get closer to the building you realize there's so much detail in the building.
The American Brewery building was built in East Baltimore, Maryland in 1887 by brewer John Frederick Wiessner. But by the year 2000, the building had been abandoned for almost 30 years. This iconic structure was deteriorating along with the surrounding neighborhood. Humanum is a nonprofit organization providing human services, job force training, and community development in the area. They saw an opportunity to renovate the American Brewery building as a centerpiece for revitalization of the neighborhood. Cho, Ben, Holbach & Associates was the architectural firm charged with the project.
There was a lot of deterioration within the building and even down to the roof collapsing on a certain portion of the building. And there were 3 fires in the building over time, so there was a lot of structural damage and that required a lot of attention. One of the most challenging things was the windows weren't here. There were no windows in the building. They had been broken out or removed. As a kid coming by here, it was rather scary, but now, because of its new presence, it's now becoming the core of redevelopment here. It feels safer, and the community has really felt this is a transformational element for them.
The architects brought in Marvin Signature Services to create the replacement windows with only 1 remaining window and historic photos as reference.
The variety was extreme from the window types and the number of variations, so there was no real repetition here, and the custom aspects of this building were significant and required a lot of attention to detail and interest in matching the historic configurations of the building. One of the major window forms that needed to be replicated was a full circular window that, in addition to being round, had inserted windows within that, and some of them were operable double hung windows, so the mixture of that was very, very challenging.
Another historic feature was the beaded edge that had to be created as part of the extruded aluminum exteriors.
The combination of that extrusion, which is very, very tough, and everybody told us it couldn't be done, and then also curving that in those curved forms and carrying that dimension and character of the windows was a huge accomplishment and a major feature in the window replacement. In this particular case, many of the competitors of Marvin told us, you can't do that. That can't be done, that beaded edge and in a curved form. They couldn't do it. Marvin stepped up and came forward and showed us that they could do it, and the combination of the technology they had and a good product like the signature window assured us that the end product was going to be a good end product. And not only was it good, it actually turned out to be a great window replacement project. And because we do so much renovation, we're very familiar with the fact that older buildings shift, settle, and move. And we really felt that Marvin was able to deal with that and custom build the windows to the existing conditions. Some of the frames were the existing frames were racked out of place, and they were able to shim, adjust, tune up all the windows to fit into the openings without changing frame proportions, and really making a difference so the sight lines weren't affected.
Even with the historic look, initially some of the windows in the building were built to add extra security.
The use of the impact glass on the first floor was really a response to the fact this neighborhood was a rather rough neighborhood, and we needed a little more security on the lower level. So we put the impact glass on the first floor. I think one of the great things is that since Humanum came into this neighborhood, the whole neighborhood has changed, and it is much safer. You'd feel different going down the street now than you did before.
The American Brewery building is on the National Register of Historic Places and has received architectural awards since its reopening in 2009. And it continues to be a source of hope for the community it serves.